As of a little bit of earlier, Jalen Ramsey to the Arizona Cardinals has picked up steam. He's going to get traded out of Miami is what all signs are pointing for, and we are in a very interesting position because the Cardinals could strike. You could go get one of the game's best corners right now. Yes, he's aging. Yes, he might not be the best he's ever been, but he is still a heck of a player, and if the Arizona Cardinals dabble in this, we might not have to go the draft route, and that's a discussion that we have to have because Will Johnson is that guy. I think this move has to be made after the draft. If the Cardinals at 16 do not address corner, we don't get Amos, we do not get Will Johnson, then maybe you dabble into this. But if Will Johnson's there at 16, you take him, you do not trade for Jalen Ramsey, and you don't pick up all that money. This is the player I want the absolute most. 22 years old, 6'2", 202 pounds. Fantastic zone corner, fantastic scheme fit for the Cardinals. He is perfect for Nick Rallis in this defense, and this is a CB1 of the future. He's the best. He didn't run his 40, which could hurt his draft stock a little bit. I'm not a 40 merchant, so I don't really care. He ran 20 miles per hour plus in the regular season on a pick 6, and he stumbled, so I'm not worried about it. These are what his stats were looking like last year. It was one of his worst seasons. The year before was a lot better. If you watch the tape, Will Johnson has a strap. He's a national champion as well. This is the player I want, but Jalen Ramsey would not be a bad option if we do not draft Will or Trey Amos. Before we dive into all the Jalen Ramsey talk, if you guys are new to the channel and end up enjoying today's video, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL content every single day. If you're a fan of that, this is the perfect channel for you. But let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Because as it's currently standing right now in terms of betting odds, Jalen Ramsey's next team odds, the Cardinals are number 2 at plus 500. The Raiders plus 400, Dallas plus 600, 49ers right there, Commanders, Lions, Bucks. We're up there. We are a heavy coveted team. Apparently, we are going to be in the market is what everybody's assuming. I don't know how realistic that is. Is this a Monty Ossenfort move, going and trading for someone who is up there in age? I'm not sure, but it does make sense. We need help at boundary. And the betting odds are predicting that the Cardinals are going to strike and we're going to make a huge move. Wouldn't be opposed, but there's a lot of things that factor into this. PFF doesn't even have us listed as one of the top 5 teams. They have the Ravens, Falcons, 49ers, Rams, and the Commanders. The Rams could probably trade back for them. I could see that happening, but we're not linked. But in terms of betting odds, guess what? We're right there, plus 500. So take that how you want. Vegas typically knows something. I guess the first thing you really got to take into account is his contract. Do you want to take this on? Do you want to pick up all this money? Because it's a lot. He has a $16 million cap hit, and then next year it goes to $25 million, and it gets upwards to 36. Yes, we have cap. Yes, we could afford it. But I don't know how I'm feeling about it. There's a potential out in 2025, which is interesting. There's an $18 million dead cap. Maybe you go that route if Jalen Ramsey's not cutting it for you. But I don't know. Like, the potential out is interesting. It depends on draft capital, too. I'm not willing to give up more than a 3rd-round draft pick, and even that's a little steep. I'd probably give up a 4th at the max for Jalen Ramsey. The play on the field is fantastic, but, like, maybe I would give up a 3rd, but a 4th is probably what I would start with, and you could work up to a 3rd if we don't take a corner in the draft. He's going to be 31 this year. That's a lot of money, and if you want to keep him around till 34 years old, you could do that. There's a lot of void years. You know that happens in the NFL all the time, but there is a potential out in 2026. Like you see, 2-year, $51 million, $18 million dead cap. Interesting contract. I don't know if the Cardinals will dabble into this, but that is a lot of money. He's making about $24 million annually. Let's take a look at our cap situation. Because in my opinion, just because you have it doesn't mean you spend it. We extended Trey McBride. We signed a bunch of guys. A lot of people will expire next year. But it's a lot. It's a lot of money. I don't know if we take that in. Let's look at our cap situation going into this year and why we can't afford this. The Cardinals are currently ranked number 8 in terms of total cap space available at $32 million. Effective cap, we have 27, which still ranks at the same. We're in a good spot, but I don't know if you just wipe away all of your money and you take on $24 million. Your cap hit is $16 million, so you're basically cutting that in half, signing a bunch of draft prospects. That's you going all in. If you genuinely believe you want to go all in and you are a Super Bowl you're a Super Bowl champion team, you push all the chips in, you do a move like this. But if you address it through the draft, it's going to be a lot cheaper. You have a lot more money, and you can make deadline deals. We can see who's available at the trade deadline. We can see who gets cut, all the cut candidates, and the Cardinals can be aggressive in that market. I don't know if you throw away all your money right now and go get a big-time corner. It could be smart. It could be, because we do need a boundary. That's why I'm really high on Will Johnson. But the Cardinals would literally cut their cap in half, their effective cap space. 26, take 16 out of that, you got $11 million left with the draft picks that you have. I don't know how many you need to allocate in terms of millions for your draft picks, but it's probably 10 million around that ballpark. We do not want to wipe away all of our money. That's not a good position to be in. We're in a good spot. I don't think the Cardinals push the chips in and do stupid things like that. That doesn't seem like something Monty Austinfort's going to do, and it seems like he's going to play the deadline, and he's going to play cut candidates at the whatever it's called, the deadline. I literally just said that. But if we're talking about Jalen Ramsey, the player, like, he has declined a little bit, but he's still one of the game's best. In terms of overall grade, PFF gave him a 76.9, and PFF grades, yes, I know it's hard to gauge, but if you watch film on Jalen Ramsey, and I did a little bit, I'm not going to sit here and act like I was watching Miami Dolphins games. He wasn't the best he's ever been. He's not fantastic, which is why I would give a third-round draft pick. He's not going to stick your team's best every single game. He's not the Jalen Ramsey of the old. Still really good, though. Pass rush grade, 76.5. Run defense, 85.7. You already know he's a willing tackler. Jalen Ramsey will put his body on the line in that aspect. At 30 years old, it's not as effective as it used to be, but he's still a dog. 71.9 coverage grade, 39th out of 222. Like I said, still one of the game's best. There's a lot of young, up-and-coming guys, so I would prefer the draft route. But if you go get Jalen Ramsey, I'm not going to sit here and complain. I think my biggest knock personally, and the reason I would deter from even making this move, he's 30 years old. Jalen Ramsey, like we pulled up the stats, heck of a ball player. Heck of a ball player still. Marvin Harrison did torch him, so shout out to Marv. But Jalen Ramsey is 30, about to be 31 at the beginning of the year, or middle of the year, technically. It's in October. But that's 31 years old on a corner. We don't know how he's going to look next year. We don't know if he's going to be durable. Like, it's just a lot of question marks for me right here, and I just don't think we can dabble into it. I think it is a dumb move by the Cardinals, and you don't want to take on that much cap space. We're not in a position where we just are a corner away from competing. We're going to compete regardless. This would solidify it. But I don't know. There's a lot of holes that need to be addressed, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We need a guard. We need an inside linebacker. This would solidify something, but we can go the draft route. And if we don't get a corner in the draft, then maybe you dabble in. The talent is absolutely there. It's not a move I would be opposed to, but, you know, there's other options out there that I'd prefer. I think we have a solid corner room as it stands. We do need a boundary, but going young just seems smart. Don't invest all your cap. And if we can't hit, like I said, then go ahead. That's what it would take from me personally. I want the Cardinals to go get Amos. I want us to go get Will Johnson. We got to land one of those guys. If we do, we're chilling. But if we don't, then you can go ahead and dabble into Jalen Ramsey post-draft. But doing it before is just not worth it. They're going to work with Jalen Ramsey to get this trade done. Hopefully the Cardinals just stay away till draft time and then potentially dabble in. You don't want to wipe away all your money. You want to get those contracts done. We extended Trey McBride. We've been playing it smart. Let's not push all the chips in and do something idiotic. Let's keep playing the smart game, Monty. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Let me know if you want Jalen Ramsey on the Cardinals down in the comment section below. It's a very interesting move. I'm not going to say it's a bad one. He's a great player still. Not the same, obviously, but still really talented. One of the best corners in the league to this day. So you guys let me know. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.